very, quite, rather, a little, somewhat. These are some examples of qualifiers. We're going to talk about how to use them, when to use them, and some of them in this video today. Hi there, thank you for checking out my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If this is the first video that you're watching from my channel, I make educational and motivational content. So if you don't want to miss any of my new uploads, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell icon. Now, like I said in the intro kanina, we're going to talk about qualifiers in this video today. Pero hindi natin mauubos lahat ng mga qualifiers. So in this video, pag-usapan lang natin kung ano ba yung qualifiers, ano yung ginagawa nila, ano yung pwede nating gawin to make use of them at hanggang saan lang yung dapat na paggamit sa kanila. Okay? But before we do that, just a quick little plug. If you want to help support this channel and our cause to democratize education in the Philippines, one way for you to do that is to be a channel member. If you see the people popping up sa live chat or sa comments na merong badge like this, or one of these actually, you can thank them dahil sila yung tumutulong sa atin to help keep the channel afloat. So, salamat sa mga channel members, rookies, and MVPs natin ngayon. Thank you for helping me help more people through this channel. And now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to jump into yung discussion na natin. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so ito yung lesson natin on qualifiers. Why and how should we use them? May na-film na akong intro nitong video na ito months ago. Pero ngayon ko gagawin yung lesson. Kasi I think sakto yung timing niya. Kasi I posted something on my personal Facebook account. It's a meme. Ito yung meme na yon. Sabi niya, it's easy to quit school and start a business if you have rich parents, a huge capital, and no bills to pay. I like using memes. Okay? So, para po dun sa medyo mas nakatatanda, yun yung M-E-M-E, na word. Ginagamit ito ng mga kids to basically state their opinion in a very creative and medyo humorous or nakakatawang way. And I use this meme that I created dito, dun sa caption na ito. Okay, so sabi ko, wala naman kasing madali sa buhay. If you want to quit school just to avoid math, paperwork, and having to learn new skills, you'd be shocked when you find out that's all we do in the real world. Ayan, unless anak mayaman ka who can afford to sit around all day. Now, can people succeed without a degree? Yes, and so many people have. But so many others live with regret after realizing how getting an education could have helped them have more opportunities. Should you go around telling people or everyone that they should quit school? I don't think so. I think it's reckless to go around telling young people to quit without telling them how difficult it would be. It's a risk that so many of us can't afford. So again, this is just a caption dun sa dito sa meme na ito that I included on my personal Facebook page. But the thing that happened was a lot of people wrote comments na nagsasabi na you are discouraging people from pursuing entrepreneurship, ginajudge daw yung mga undergrad, parang gano'n. So again, medyo, in my opinion, medyo tumawid, no, yung kanilang pagbabasa doon sa meme. So medyo siguro na personal nila or feeling nila gine-generalize ko yung mga bagay-bagay. Now, that really helped me form this lesson kasi I think we can look at qualifiers in a different light. And we also need to read with qualifiers. Isa sa mga pinaka-tricky na subjects pagdating sa exams ay yung logic or analytical reasoning. And in logic questions, meron kasing mga statements doon that also use qualifiers like almost, some, or none. And a lot of people are confused by those. So we really need to break this down. Now, ito yung mga points ng mga people who wrote quite nasty comments on my post. Yung unang comment or yung unang reason I feel kung bakit sila napaka-comment ng hindi masyadong maganda is this. Akala kasi nila sinasabihan ko or ginajudge ko yung mga people na kinailangan na mag-stop ng school. Okay? So, ang question ko would be this. Looking at the caption, was this addressed to those who needed to stop going to school? I mean, sinulat ko ba ito para dun sa mga nawalan ng budget para pumasok sa school or nawalan ng magulang kaya kailangan nila magtrabaho muna? Now, if you look at the text, right? And again, this is the benefit of having qualifiers and using language ng mas deliberately. I wrote here the word just. Okay? So again, Ang sinasabi natin dito sa second paragraph, if you want to quit school just to avoid math, paperwork at iba pa, ibig sabihin, kung gusto mo mag-quit ng school para lang iwasan ng math at ang paperwork at ang pag-aaral, magugulat kayo kasi yun ang ginagawa namin in the real world. So, kasama ba dito yung mga people na kinailangan na mag-quit sa school kasi wala ng pera or wala ng pang tuition? I would say hindi. Bakit? Kasi again, this is just for the youths who want to just avoid math and paperwork. Okay? So again, hindi siya written para dun sa mga na naging out of school youth by circumstance. Okay? So I thought it was clear, no? But again, some people didn't notice the word just there. Now, another reason why people were writing things was because of this. Okay, now the question is, did I say that people who don't get agree will never be successful? Kasi may mga people who wrote na bakit si Henry C., bakit si Gokong Wei, hindi naman sila nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral pero naging successful naman sila. Now, balikan natin again yung text. Sinabi ko ba na hindi magiging successful yung walang degree? Okay, now if you notice, 2 lines right here. Actually, medyo obvious na to, no? Kasi sabi ko, can people succeed without a degree? Yes. So, medyo obvious na yon. Pero, tingnan natin yung words na ito. Nakalagay dito sa qualifier, no? So many people have. But, so many others live with regret. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Ang word na many, hindi ibig sabihin yan all. Okay? So, marami. Pero, hindi lahat. Kasi I think, mali sabihin na lahat ng tao na hindi nakagraduate ay hindi magiging successful. That's a wrong statement, no? But that wasn't what was said in the text. Ang sabi, marami nagsasucceed, pero marami rin ang nabubuhay with regret kasi sayang, no? Kasi sayang sana nakapag-aral sila para mas marami silang opportunities. But again, this is not a generalization. Many does not mean all. But again, some people, they read this and they don't notice the word many. Now, next na root cause ng mga comments was this. Did I say that telling people to quit school to be entrepreneurs is absolutely wrong? Sinabi ko ba na mali? Nasabihan yung mga tao na mag-quit para maging entrepreneur? Was it wrong? Is it absolutely wrong? Morally wrong? Hindi ba talaga dapat mangyari? Now, if you look at the last paragraph, what I said was that number 1, I don't think so, which means this is an opinion. And inulit ko pa uli, I think. Okay, so again, this is just my opinion. Hindi ko sinasabi na absolutely wrong, but this is my opinion. And I also said that this is just reckless. Ibig sabihin, parang delikado, okay, or risky, to go around telling young people to quit. Tapos may qualifier tayo uli na statement which is without telling them how difficult it would be. So, hindi ko sinasabi na reckless ang magsabi na mag-quit na lang lahat ng bata sa school lamang. Ang sabi ko, it's especially reckless kung hindi mo sasabihin sa kanila na mahirap din ang maging entrepreneur. Or, yun nga sinasabi naman minsan, nagko-quit ng school kasi nahihirapan, pero pagkatas mo mag-quit ng school at magtatrabaho ka, mahihirapan ka rin naman. Kasi nga again, ang unang-unang statement dun sa passage or sa caption was, wala namang madali sa buhay. Kung meron mang absolute dito, ito lang statement na yan, ang masasabi natin, at saka itong yes. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ang point na gusto talaga sabihin ko dito, again, I'm just using this as an example kasi mas maganda, hindi tayo makaka-copyright kasi ako yung gumawa, is this, walang madali sa buhay. So whether magsastay ka sa school or whether magkukwit ka to go into business, mahirap pa rin siya. So kung akala mo, tinatakasan mo yung school, kaya ka magkukwit para mag-business, actually, mahihirapan ka rin. Kasi again, lahat ng bagay ay mahirap. Okay? Now, again, I'm not using this as an example to try to defend myself. I think medyo malinaw naman yung sinabi ko at saka most of the comments naman understood the point that I was trying to make. But this exchange right here establishes the point na ang daming tao who go into generalizations or who read something, a material, without noticing all of these qualifiers. So, ano ba yung qualifiers? Okay? Ano ba yung role na ginagampanan niya sa isang sentence? Now, qualifiers are a word or a phrase that comes before an adjective or adverb that increases or decreases the meaning or scope of the word it modifies. Now, ano ibig sabihin nun? Kapag meron kang adjective, ang adjective kasi ay bagay na nagde-describe sa isang noun,
Ang adverb naman ay ang isang bagay na nagde-describe or modify sa isang verb or action word. Kapag dinagdagan mo pa ito ng qualifier, malalaman mo kung gaano ka sidhi or ka-intense or kung gaano kalalim or katotoo yung isang bagay. Makikita mo rin yung scope. Ibig sabihin, kailan ito nangyayari? Madalas ba ito? Nangyayari ba sa lahat? Nangyayari ba occasionally? Minsan lang, 50-50 ba? Yun yung importansya ng qualifiers. And qualifiers can protect you from generalizations. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kapag sinabi ko na this is usually the case, ibig sabihin, madalas siyang nangyayari, pero hindi lagi. For example, if I say that when we see dark clouds, it usually rains after, ang ibig sabihin, kapag nakakita tayong madilim na ulap, pagkatapos nun, after a few minutes, kadalasan umuulan. Pero hindi lagi. Kasi di ba minsan naman ganun, dumidilim, pero hindi naman umuulan. So, lumilipas din yung madilim na ulap. Yun yung ibig sabihin natin dun sa qualifiers. Okay? So again, hindi nagiging absolutely true or absolutely false yung isang bagay if you include qualifiers. Now, let's take this as an example. This is a very simple sentence. Sabi niya, she is pretty. Okay? So, she is our subject, is pretty is our predicate. Yung pretty na yan, that word is an adjective. It describes the noun who is she. Okay? So, again, adjective yung pretty. Now, ano ang pwede nating gawin kung magdadagdag tayo ng qualifier dito sa sentence na ito? Now, if you look at this statement right here, it says, she is kind of pretty. Okay. Now, ano ngayon yung feeling na binibigay sa atin ng kind of pretty? Hindi na lang siya pretty, ha? Hindi siya pretty as a fact. Kind of na lang. So, parang medyo. Medyo maganda naman siya. Medyo may itsura. Right? It changes the meaning of the sentence. Hindi na pretty, ano na siya? Medyo maganda. Okay? So, na-decrease yung meaning nung ating sentence. Eto, she is mostly pretty. No, kapag sinabi natin mostly, kumbaga, siguro may bahagi ng katawan niya na hindi niya kino-consider pretty nung ating author. Now again, this is a rather terrible example, but I'll watch lang until the end kasi there's a point I'm trying to make, no? So, ibig sabihin, pag she is mostly pretty, maganda pero yung kamay niya, hindi ko gusto. Or pero yung mata niya, hindi ko type. So, she is mostly pretty. Okay? Now, the third sentence, she is usually pretty. Pag sinabi natin usually pretty naman, ibig sabihin, siguro 80%, 90% of the time, maganda siya. Pero 10% of the time, hindi siya maganda. Okay? Now, ano ibig sabihin nun? Siguro, sa pananamit or sa paano niya ayusin yung sarili niya, itong tao na nagsasalita, hindi siya laging maganda para dun sa tao na yun. Okay? Now, ito pa, she is rather pretty. Kapag rather, ibig sabihin, medyo kino-compare mo na siya sa iba, no? Mas maganda siya sa iba. May kagandahan, parang ganon. She's rather pretty. Now, she is very pretty. Ano pinagkaiba ng very dun sa kind of? Ang kind of kasi medyo, siguro na 10, 20%, 30% pretty. Pero ang very pretty, higit-higit pa. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang siya 100%, actually, medyo more than that pa. Pero definitely, masasabi mo 100% pretty siya. Now, paano naman to? She is pretty. Okay? So, yung pretty kasi is also used as a qualifier sometimes, no? Ang pretty, ibig sabihin, sakto lang. Okay? If you're pretty smart, pretty good, diba? Pretty cool, ibig sabihin, sakto lang. So, kung pretty, mga 50%, 60% pretty siya. Okay? Now, dito na tayo papasok dun sa bakit tayo gumagamit ng qualifier. Now, sa akin, kapag sinabi natin na she is pretty, sa totoo lang, she is pretty na lang. Huwag na natin dagdagan. Okay? So, I'm filming this lesson, March ngayon, Women's Month, and I really want to encourage you na whenever you say that someone is pretty, or maganda siya, wag niyo nang dugtungan or wag niyo nalagyan ng qualifier. Hindi siya minsan lang maganda, hindi siya maganda kung payat, maganda kung mataba, maganda kung ganito or ganyan. A person is pretty. Okay? Lahat naman tayo ay maganda. Okay? Kanya-kanya tayo ng kagandahan. Alright? Now, siningit ko lang yun. Dito na tayo sa next part. Now, there are some examples of qualifiers depende sa pagkakagamit sa kanila. We have yung qualifiers ng quantity. Okay? Aspeto yan, ibig sabihin dami. So, kapag sinabing none, zero. Some, kaunti. More, mas marami na. Many, ibig sabihin, maraming marami. Most, ibig sabihin, mas marami ang oo kaysa hindi. At ang all, ibig sabihin, lahat sila. Okay? Now, in-arrange ko sila lahat na parang naka-in-order sila. Ibig sabihin, from negative to positive or from 0% to 100%. Meron din tayong qualifiers of time. So, kapag never, ibig sabihin, hindi nangyayari. Rarely, medyo bihira. Sometimes, ganun din. Pero ang rarely kasi, parang mas rare pa siya kaysa sa sometimes. Ang occasionally, ibig sabihin, kapag may importanteng okasyon nangyayari, so ibig sabihin, bihira din siya. Now and again, ibig sabihin, paminsan-minsan, more often than not, mas madalas kaysa sa hindi. So again, dumadami na siya, no? Hindi na siya sometimes, more often than not na eh. Usually, ibig sabihin, again, 80%, 90% of the time, mostly, 90% of the time, often, lagi na. So kung kunwari, often there, ibig sabihin, mga siguro 6 days out of 7 nandun siya. Always, of course, is always happening din. So, mas madalas kaysa sa hindi. Okay? And minsan din, ang always already means na 100% of the time. Okay? So, again, depende na to dun sa pagkakagamit natin. Ang tanong na would be, ano yung gusto kong sabihin? If I'm trying to tell a story, for example, yung boyfriend nung kapatid ko laging nasa bahay. Ang tanong, gaano kadalas? Is it rarely, sometimes, occasionally, now and again, or always? As in, tuwing nagigising ako, nandyan siya. Matutulog ako, nandyan pa rin siya. Yun na yung always. Okay? So again, always look for these words. Kasi pagdating sa mga essays, reading comprehension, logic questions, these are the words that usually change the meaning of the sentence na hindi napapansin ng iba. Okay? Kaya, aralin ninyo yung ibig sabihin ng mga yan. We have yung qualifiers for opinion. So, you can say, I guess, maybe, I think, I believe, I know. Pag no, alam na eh. Ibig sabihin, sure na siya dyan. And then, of course, yung 100% sure, which is, I am absolutely certain or I am certain. Possibility din. So, if something is possible, iba siya dun sa probable. Kasi ang possibility, ibig sabihin, kahit na, sabihin na natin, 1% lang chance or 0.001%, it's still possible. Ang probable, mas likely na mangyari. Okay? So, something can be possible but not probable. So, if for example, someone, kunyari lang, writes a comment on my video saying na, Coach, di ba? Kaya Lyqa, mali pa yung spelling kadalasan, Lyka o kaya Lyca. Magkape naman tayo minsan. Or, I want you to be my girlfriend. Yung mga ganong klaseng, sa totoo lang, napaka off-base na, off-putting na mga statements. Ang sagot doon would be, well, it's possible, but not probable. Ano yung ibig sabihin nun? If you ask me for coffee sa comment section ng videos ko, is it possible? As in, it's in the realm of possibility. Hindi ko masasabi kasi marami pang panahon. Okay? So, it is technically possible, but not probable kasi I probably won't agree. Okay? So, again, yun yung difference sa possibility. Iba rin ang could, might, may, at likely. Na meron akong videos on should, would, could, then, and other things like that. Nakalink na lang din sila dito sa taas, sa I button if you're watching on YouTube, as a description box if hindi nyo siya makita dito. Okay? Now, sa necessity, you have yung have to, must, ought, required, should. Meron din tayong need to. Meron tayong video just a few weeks ago, yung difference ng need to, have to, tsaka must. Nakalink din siya sa taas if gusto niyo siyang mapanood. And of course, yung quality rin. No? Yung quality, ibig sabihin, gaano ka sidhi yung pagkaka-fit ng adjective na yun sa isang tao. So, slightly ba? Sort of, kind of, fairly, pretty? Pretty kasi parang mga 50%, ganon, 50-60%. Mostly, pag mostly, mas mataas na yan. Generally, ibig sabihin, again, most of them, ganon. Very, overly, yung exceptionally, ibig sabihin, hindi lang siya basta maganda. Mas maganda pa siya dun sa ibang mga maganda. So again, tumataas yung quality. And meron din tayong quality in relation to others. So we have your best, worst, finest, sharpest, heaviest. Lahat na ng mga S natin din, no? And again, you also have a video series na on the comparatives and superlatives. Nakalink na lang din sa description at saka dito sa I button sa taas. Okay? So, sinasabi ko yung mga yon kasi again, marami na tayong mga ibang discussions. Yung qualifiers lang, I really needed to create a separate video about this. Kasi nga, again, people don't notice this. No? Now, if someone tells you, oh, you're sort of pretty, would you say thank you? If someone says na, oh, you're pretty good, paano natin sasagutin? Magte-thank you rin ba tayo doon? Is that a good thing na sinabi niya yon? Or is it a bad thing? We need to know. And we can only know that if we know how to use these qualifiers. So it takes time. I want you to explore. I want you to look at the books that you're reading, the blog posts that you're reading. Gumagamit ba sila ng qualifiers? Ano bang ibig sabihin nun? Okay? Now, how do you use qualifiers? Now, do's and don'ts tayo. Okay? A few do's and don'ts. Sa do's muna tayo. Number 1, use them to clarify your statement. Magandang gumamit ng qualifiers kung gusto mong linawin. Okay, yung isang gusto mong sabihin. So, if a person is mostly there, okay, ibig sabihin, mas madalas siyang nandun, pero hindi naman din lagi. Okay? If it's mostly true, ibig sabihin, siguro 80% ng paragraph, tama naman eh. Kaya lang may nakasingit na hindi. So, to clarify, use qualifiers. You can also use them, pero you have to use them purposively. Ano bang sinasabi natin pag purposively yung paggamit? Ibig sabihin with a purpose, with a reason. Kung gagamitin mo siya na walang reason, ay wag na lang. Okay? Kasi dapat deliberate tayo sa paggamit ng ating qualifiers. Okay? So, ilalagay ko siya, hindi lang para may mailagay akong qualifier, nilalagay ko siya doon kasi meron siyang sinaserve na purpose doon sa sentence na yon. It's not just noise. It actually changes the meaning of the sentence. At yung pagbabago na yon, yun talaga yung gusto kong sabihin. Now, this is a really important thing din, especially in social media. Go and use qualifiers to avoid generalization. Okay? Kasi, pag sinabi natin, for example, na men are trash. For example lang ha, again, ilabas muna natin yung mga personal opinions natin dito, no? Pero nagte-trend kasi yun occasionally, di ba? So, men are trash. Pag sabi kong men are trash, ang dating nun is lahat ng lalaki, including tatay ko, mga close sa aking mga lalaking kaibigan, lahat sila trash din. But if you write na most men are trash, ibig sabihin marami sa kanila ang trash, pero merong mga hindi. If I write some men are trash, then ibig sabihin mas marami ang hindi trash kaysa sa trash. Okay? Now, of course, there's a reason why people write men are trash. Again, this is not a political statement. I'm just illustrating my point. Okay? So, yun yung mga benefits ng paggamit ng qualifiers. Alright? Now, yung don'ts tayo. Number 1, don't use them to replace adjectives or adverbs. Kasi mangyayari, magiging hanging yung statement natin. Kung gumamit ka ng qualifier, tapos pinalit mo siya dun sa mismong adjective, it won't work. Unless dun sa case nga nung binigay ko sa inyo kanina, pretty. Kasi yung pretty, same word yon. So, kapag sinabi ko na she is pretty, maganda pa rin siya. No? Pero pag sinabi ko na she is mostly, kaya she is kind of, di ba, hindi siya buong sentence or statement. Kaya don't use them to replace the adjectives or adverbs. Okay? Again, pandagdag siya kung buo na yung sentence mo as it is. Okay? Now, another thing, don't use them to lengthen your essay or paper. Maraming bata ang gumagamit ng qualifiers para humaba yung sentence nila. Kasi nga naman, yung six words na sentence, kung lalagyan ko ng qualifier, lalo na kung phrase ang ilalagay ko, may madadagdag ng words dyan. So, para ma-meet ko yung sabi ng teacher na 500 words dapat, ang essay or 800 words dapat, magdadagdag ako ng mga qualifiers. Now, don't use them to lengthen your essay or paper. Bakit? Kasi, kapag nagsingit ka ng qualifier, lalo na kung mali yung naisingit mong qualifier, imbis na maganda yung statement mo, maiiba yung meaning, at mawawala yung meaning na intended mo for that statement. So again, don't use them to lengthen your essay or your paper. And don't use too many of them. Wag naman lahat ng sentence natin ay may qualifier. Mas maganda kung sparse, medyo bihira sila, at again, deliberate yung paggamit natin. So, ibig sabihin, they are used to garnish, to clarify, to add on top of yung meaning ng sentence. Pero kung hindi naman siya kailangan, wag na natin siya gamitin. Okay? And in fact, it's highly encouraged na when you use qualifiers, and again, for our purpose ngayon, kahit adverbs mismo, okay? Kasi yung iba mahilig naman gumamit ng adverbs, mas maganda if you use something else. You use a synonym for that instead of saying very lahat. Okay? Now, I'll give you a quick exercise for this. And again, ito, i-clarify ko lang din, qualifiers are different from adverbs, no? Pero hindi tayo magda-dive into that conversation right now. I just want you to be able to spot itong qualifiers and see what they do with the sentences. Okay? But ito, quick exercise lang muna. Let's replace qualifiers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 qualifiers right here. And I want you to think about words that would replace them. Okay? Alright, so very important. Kung gusto ko sabihin that something is very important, instead of very important, pwede kong sabihin na this is crucial. Okay? This is necessary. 'Di ba? 'Yon. Kung merong sense of urgency kasi nagmamadali na, you can say this is urgent, no? Pero mas maganda yung crucial gamitin kaysa sa very important. Kung something is very cold naman, you can say it's freezing, okay, instead of very cold. Okay? Lalo na kung gumamit ka na ng very dun sa sentence before it, no? Kasi kung sasabihin mo na it's very dark and very cold, dalawang very na sa isang sentence, very, very. So, hindi maganda pakinggan. So, you could say, it's very dark and freezing. Okay? Or, yung very dark nga, pwede mo pang ibahin. So, it's pitch black and freezing. O, diba? So, again, think about it that way. Very beautiful, you can say breathtaking instead. Gorgeous. Diba? Stunning instead of very beautiful. Kasi imagine niyo if you're describing things, no? Tapos, okay, I went to the resort and the beach was very beautiful. The cabanas were very beautiful. So, lahat sila very beautiful. So, if you want change in the rhythm and in the way that you present things, think about words to replace them. Very thirsty, you say parched. So, hindi ka lang nauuhaw. Talagang, kumbaga, tuyong-tuyo na yung labi mo. Talagang hindi ka nakainom ng matagal. Very big is gigantic. Okay? Enormous, right? Very confusing. You can say it's puzzling. It's confounding, no? It's confusing. Pero mas parang ibang level pa. Okay? So, again, think about it that way. Medyo stylistic choice na rin kadalasan to replace qualifiers. Pero when you find na sobrang peppered na yung paper ng qualifiers, it's a necessity na. Alright, so ito yung ating quick quiz. I wrestled with myself sa kung ano yung papagawa ko sa inyo as a quiz sa lesson na ito. But here's what we're going to do. I want you to spot yung ating qualifier for the sentence and figure out kung siya ay 100% true, as in 100% of the time tama yung statement because of the qualifier. Is it 75% true, 50% true, 25% true, or 0% true? Okay, so again, encircle the qualifier, choose the qualifier, and then figure out kung totoo yung statement because of that qualifier. Alright, and if you're ready with your pen and paper, your timer starts now. Alright, let's see how you did. Okay? So let's start with the first statement. Sabi, most boomers mislabel Gen Z as millennials. Now, the qualifier here is the word. Yan, maglalagay tayo ng circle. Most. Okay? So, most boomers. Hindi lahat. Hindi niya sinabing all. So, ibig sabihin, this statement is about 75% true. Okay? Most lang eh. So, mas marami kesa sa hindi, pero hindi lahat. To say that it's 100% true is wrong. Okay? So, hindi siya pwedeng maging 100% true. Okay? Ka-clarify natin yan. So, I would say that the author wrote this statement kasi gusto niya i-clarify na hindi naman lahat. May mga boomers naman na alam na kami, sabihin natin, if you're in your late 20s to 30s, yung iba nga pati 40s, no? Tinatawag pa rin nilang millennials, no? Kami yung mga millennials, no? Ang Gen Z, yung mga nakikita nyo po on screen na mas bata sa amin, yung mga nasa early 20s nila, pababa, okay, mga 19 years old, pababa, mga Gen Z na po yan, hindi na yan millennials. Okay? But, hindi naman lahat ng boomers ay yun ang ginagawa. Hindi naman nila lahat ginagawa yun. So, 75% true lang. Okay? Now, next statement, it's highly likely that Jairen is brilliant. And again, Jairen is one of our channel supporters. So, Jairen, thank you for supporting the channel and making this video possible. Yung highly likely now is a qualifier for the statement. Kasi, brilliant si Jairen, no? Pero, hindi niya gusto sabihin na 100% of the time or 100% true agad yung statement. Kumbaga nakikitaan niya siguro ng evidence that Jairen is a brilliant person. So, we would say nasa 75% true rin ito. Okay? So, malamang, sa alamang, yung sinasabi na, diba? Malamang, brilliant siya. Now, next, we have Hailey. Sabi, Hailey is quite generous with her food. So, the word quite is here. Na ano ba ibig sabihin ng quite? Yung quite lagi nating naririnig, di ba? Quite generous daw siya. Generous is an adjective, di ba? So, yan yung minomodify niya. Now, ang quite generous is actually mga 50% of the time. So, 50-50. Generous siya. So, kung baga namimigay siya, pero hindi naman sobrang lagi at hindi rin sobrang dami yung binibigay niya. Okay? Now, ito. She yelled because she might be hungry. Now, we have the might here. Diba? If you think about it, pwede mo tanggalin sa statement. So, she yelled because she was hungry instead of might be, no? Pero sinabi niyang might kasi hindi siya sure. It's actually just 25%. Probably 25% true. So, baka nagugutom kaya nagagalit. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin niya. Now, kung sinabi ko na she yelled because she was angry, ibig sabihin 100% sure ako na kaya siya sumigaw kasi nagugutom siya. Pero dahil sinabi kong might, ibig sabihin hindi ako masyadong sure. Okay? Yun yung, again, purpose ng qualifiers natin. Ito. He is mostly loyal. Now, tanong, kapag meron kang manliligaw, sabi nung kanyang kapatid, ay, okay lang yan. Alam mo, he's mostly loyal. Papayag ka ba? Okay? Now, ang mostly, ibig sabihin, 75% of the time, totoo yan. Mostly loyal siya. Yun lang, may ka-text paminsan-minsan, pero loyal pa rin yan kasi hindi naman niya tinatawag na girlfriend eh. MU lang sila nun. Ikaw pa rin ang uuwian, no? Now, depende na sa inyo yan kung papayag kayo. Sa akin, hindi okay yon. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin natin sa mostly loyal, hindi siya 100% loyal, no? Ayaw natin yan. So again, mas maganda kung ganito yung ating pagkakaintindi ng bawat statement dahil dun sa ating mga qualifiers. But, tinan nyo ha, imagine how things will be different kung tatanggalin ko yung qualifier sa sentence. Sa una, pag sinabi kong boomers mislabel Gen Z as millennials, ibig sabihin lahat na sila. Right? Pag sinabi ko na Jairen is brilliant, ibig sabihin, sigurado na ako. Pag sinabi ko na Hailey is generous with her food, ibig sabihin, again, ibang level ng generosity yon. Kasi lagi siyang generous. And then number 4, she yelled because she was hungry. Hungry na sana yung sasabihin ko kasi hungry and angry na, no? So ito, magiging 100% sure din ulit. And of course, pag sinabi ko na he is loyal, ibig sabihin 100% of the time. Pero because of the qualifiers, the meaning of the sentence changes. And yung fact at kung gaano siya ka-totoo or ka-accurate also changes. Yung scope also changes. Hindi lahat. Okay? So I want you to think about that the next time that you read a post, read a news article, read anything online, offline, or wherever, or even the next time that you write. Use qualifiers well, read them well, understand them better, para matulungan tayo din to have a healthier discussion online. All right? So thank you for watching. Again, we have more questions coming up. So if you want to check that out, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram account is @LyqaMaravilla. Doon natin pinapost yung mga bagong quick quizzes natin. Every day, I try to post at least one. Pero kung busy, hindi ko siya nagagawa. But there are more quick quizzes coming up soon. So follow me at Lyqa Maravilla on Instagram. You can also follow the Team Lyqa page on Instagram. It's at Team Lyqa for the throwback quick quiz questions at maraming important announcements. We have more workshops and free sessions coming up soon. So kung gusto nyong makapag-sign up doon quickly, follow those two accounts on Instagram. Of course, you have TikTok. Kung meron kayong TikTok, I'm also there. It's at Team Lyqa for the English and Math videos. I post quick quizzes din doon na separate pa or iba pa doon sa mga pinopost ko sa Instagram. So if you want to participate, go and check out Team Lyqa on TikTok. And at Lyqa Maravilla naman for the personal videos, motivational videos, tips, advice videos, at kung ano pang behind the scenes na clips sa aking daily life. So if you want to get to know me a little bit better, go to at Lyqa Maravilla on TikTok. Okay? See you online.
Alright, I hope you learned something today. If you did, click thumbs up. Make sure that you share this video with your friends. Alam na kung i-exam din sila. That means marami tayong matutulungan. And as always, if you want to reach out to me directly, get the reviewers that I made, join the online or live review events, you can go to www.facebook.com/Team Lyqa. And of course, if you want to buy our merch, we have a lot of shirts. May bago ring design na kaka-release lang. You can visit yung ating online shop, shop.teamlyqa.com. Yung mga proceeds there go to our Hope Fund, which helps support this channel, and of course, yung mga scholars din natin. So sa mga nakabili na, maraming salamat. Sa bibili pa lang, maraming salamat din. And if you don't want to miss any of our new uploads, marami pang kasunod itong video na ito, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell icon. And as we always say sa channel to, never stop learning. Adja, adja, kain yan. I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.